What's up, everybody? Just wanted to have a quick little interruption here as there's something a bit more important than this podcast happening at the moment. As a co-founder of the Madhouse podcast, I think I speak for the entire operation here when I say that we at the Madhouse podcast fully support the Black Lives Matter movement. We hope to see these injustices brought to an end and change brought into our fair nation, and we hope that everyone at the protests are being safe. We hope that one day everybody's truly treated fair and equally. I mean, as a group of white boys, we can't even really try to relate to the horrible experiences people of color have faced for way too long of a time. We hope that everyone helps us support the movement in ways that they can, such as donating to the Black Lives Matter movement using the link down below, or by giving some love and appreciation for a podcast we happen to enjoy ourselves, even if they only have teasers out. Doomsday Mixtape, also linked down in the description below. Thank you, everybody, for what you've done so far, or what you will do for this movement. Let's get back into this podcast. Stay beautiful, people. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Madhouse podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Connor Graham, with my fellow co-host, Ryan Byrne.
What's up?
And our guest today is Brendan Christie.
Hello.
And why don't you start off, Brendan? Tell us what's going on in the world.
So, as people are just like looking on social media and everything for like news and all that, I stumbled upon probably just a really exciting article that I found. Do either of you know the RPG released by Giant Game Studio, I believe it's the name, Kingdoms of Amalur?
Wasn't
What?
that
You mean the game you've been trying to get me to play since freshman year of high school?
You're goddamn right.
made by BioWare?
No, it was not a BioWare game.
No.
It was an EA.
That's what it was. Same parent
It was-
company.
Yeah, close enough, but Kingdoms of Amalur is a fantasy RPG of where you are essentially an amnesiac, and you start to find out that you are unchained from fate itself. So you can make decisions and change the world. That's basically how they set up, like, oh, hey, you have decisions.
Hey,
But
you can do things.
can.
So it's a first or third person game.
Third person action RPG, of where you can just small selection of races and customization, but the world itself massive, but it's getting a remaster, and I am so excited for it because they're also saying that they might be adding a couple new things, but as of right now it's just more of just like, hey, graphic revamp, and also like making of assets and such. I even joined their Discord, thank God.
Nice.
I have been reading that literally all week.
So what was the like big thing about Kingdoms of Amalur that set it apart from other action RPGs when it first came out?
Well, when it first came out, it actually didn't do too hot in terms of sales. Actually, that's what caused the company to go bankrupt, besides it spending, I think, somewhere close to like $5 million on this project.
Ooh.
Oh damn.
Because they got like top fantasy writers and like game designers from like every company that they've like specifically headhunted for, and that's what a lot of the money went towards, as well as like just basically started staff for all of it.
Well,
So they didn't hold back in production whatsoever.
They did not, and in my opinion, at least for an RPG that was released around that time, it was released around the same time as like Skyrim and like Fable 3-ish, I think.
oh, Fable 3.
or at least within that like time frame of at least like 5 to 8 years. And they sort of prided themselves on being able to have this massive world, of which it is completely massive. I still haven't explored all of it. And this is like my 5th playthrough.
Oh man.
And their variety of choice, because each story beat has like 1 or 2, maybe sometimes 3 choices that you can choose, and each one gives you a different outcome, and each one will like impact story and gameplay in like either minor ways or big ways, depending on if it's like a major story beat or like a side quest stuff.
Cool.
But and you have, instead of like classes, you just have your general skill tree, of which you then choose destinies, which further like enhance. Say you're going for like a full stealth, you go full stealth and you get different bonuses for it. Full tank, you get bonuses for that. And but something a little bit different, which Skyrim had in a little bit, in my opinion, but nothing too like crazy or nothing as like specialized as Amalur. They had cross classes, because in Skyrim you could be like a healing rogue or a magic rogue or whatever, but it didn't mesh all too well.
You could be a healing rogue in Skyrim, but most of the time it just evolved into, I'm gonna sneak around with a bow and just headshot everyone.
I can't
At least
say
for
that I
me.
haven't done that. I can't say I haven't done that.
I spam fire and then I swing the sword.
My
But-
favorite was just, let me summon everyone. Alright, do it
Oh, yeah.
again.
The whole gang's here.
and
Yeah.
again. But for Kingdoms of Amalur, they had destinies, which were those like specializations, and they had those cross between. So you had a war mage, you had your assassin, was their like magic and stealth cross class, and they had their magic and ranged, which was more of like a duelist sort of feel for it. And then if you wanted to, you could just go all 3 at the same time and become a universalist, is the like top tier class for that. And it was just like, oh hey, yeah, so you want to be good at everything? Good, you're good at everything. And just that, like, sort of me being like 13, 14 years old when I first picked it up, because I got it on the original console it was made for, the 360.
Oh, yeah.
The good old days of the 360.
Literally, I like played Skyrim for a couple of weeks and was like, cool, I want another game, though. Let's see what's out. And I was just at the mall with my family and everything. I ran over to the GameStop, and
As we do.
yeah, as we do, and was just looking around. I had like $20 to my name and was like, perfect. Let's see what I can get on the discount aisle.
Yeah.
That game was like $8 or $10 when I picked it up. I literally looked at the cover, saw someone wielding a big fuck off hammer and a shining glowing sword, and my ADHD ass was like, ooh.
I see
Ooh,
shiny, I buy. Exactly.
And turned the cover over, read it a little bit. I was like, cool, RPG. I've been playing Skyrim. Let's get it. And I've proceeded to play that game so much. And it has honestly become one of my favorite RPGs, and I cannot wait for this remaster, and I am so very excited to see what they have announced in the Discord.
So have they given a time frame on when the remaster is supposed to be released? Sometime this year, next year, or something in between?
I believe they were trying to get it out by like holiday this year, or at least early next year.
Okay,
Alright,
That's
that's
from
not
what I can
bad.
see.
Fourth quarter kind of thing.
Fourth quarter, yeah, because what they're doing, basically, they just need to like update everything for to run on a new engine that they're putting it through,
Hmm.
or at least just like make all of the assets like as much as they can.
Yeah.
Like as big and best as they can.
I will say,
Yeah.
Bring everything up to snuff for 2020.
Yeah.
yeah. I will say I really enjoy how games have started to go more towards the whole, like, quick turnaround from announcement to being available and, like, released. And them doing that, I think, is a really good idea. And it sounds
I
like...
remember when we were younger, when they used to announce video games, and it's like, coming, summer, next year. And you're like, huh? What? It is January.
You're
Yeah.
like, you got 2 years here that you get to run through until we get to play it.
And then they other games would just come out and like that were announced like a year or two prior that you're finally just like, oh hey, these are
Cyberpunk would like to
finally
have a
out.
word with you.
Cyberpunk would like to have a word with us.
Cyberpunk would like to know your location.
Oh boy.
I feel like the alternative now is like, being that that's becoming more regular, the whole like, and you can play it now, is that like equivalent of just like, yeah, you can run out and like buy a copy of it or whatever.
Yeah.
But they can't do that with consoles.
No, they cannot.
Speaking of what should have been right now, E3.
Yeah.
Today's supposed to have been the second day of E3. Or what would have been.
It's weird because E3 was going to be going on right now, and like, normally it's like, hey, everyone's talking about press conferences and like Nintendo Direct and like demos and all this stuff and learning about what's going to be coming out over the next year or two. And this was going to be a really big E3 too, because the new consoles were slated for later this year.
Mm-hmm.
But most of those have been delayed. But is there stuff that you guys were hoping to see at E3 in particular?
For me, mainly I was looking for more, cheesy JRPGs or, more details on the Pokemon DLCs and everything like that. Just kind of looking for like, stuff that I'd probably be into, whatever. I'm normally out of the loop when it comes to like news on most games or things like that. I'm normally never in the loop for them. I'm late to every party when it comes to news and everything like that, which is why you guys are usually bringing everything up to me to, hey, how do you feel about this? Did you hear about this? Whatever. But the lack of E3 and the lack of E3 news is definitely a noticeable gap. Like, there's definitely a noticeable difference between, holy shit, dude, no one's been posting about everything being released. No one's been posting about that. It's because no one knows.
Yeah.
Everyone's in the dark right now.
The one thing in particular, I was like really hoping to see if they had any details on a new God of War, because that last one was amazing. And seeing that just like expand is still tough, because they had a whole bunch of stuff that I was hoping to see, but now it's tough, because they still want to show stuff off, but they're holding off and stuff, and hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Although honestly, I commend Sony for postponing their event in light of everything that's happening in America and everything like that. I honestly, props to Sony for being like, hey, now's not the time to be celebrating a new console. We're trying to make some change in the world. So that was pretty cool, if you ask my opinion.
Yeah, considering that there are protests even in Tokyo.
Yeah. I am very excited seeing what they're going to show off as like their flagships for like, hey, this is what we want you to see to like buy our new consoles and stuff. I will say I heard PC Gamer was looking to hold a online conference, I want to say, later next week. And there was some leaks from that, actually, which were... So, it came out that supposedly during this conference they were going to show off Persona 4 Golden coming to PC, which...
Oh, yes.
There's never been Persona on PC. So...
It's the gateway for 5.
So many times I have had people from high school yell at me, being like, yo, you gotta play Persona. You got PlayStation? Play that Persona. And I'm like, sorry. Don't have any kind of consoles in my house. I'm a PC gamer.
I may not have been one of those people.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally.
I love JRPGs.
After sitting there and watching our friend David, who, shout out to David, play Adachi and Yu and some other characters from it, and BlazBlue cross tag in a tournament, and watching him just go out there and have a blast and just completely wreck some people in a fighting game tournament. Seeing Adachi and the type of character he is, and seeing that you was voiced by Johnny Young Bosch,
Johnny Young Bosch.
you have sold me on Persona 4, and I'm about to pick that up as soon as it drops.
Haha, you.
I'm excited, and I think it's really going to be right up your alley, especially you saying how you normally are excited for JRPGs. Persona is like my
The
quintessential.
quintessential.
Yeah. It's just...
I mean, like Brendan said, hopefully this could be a gateway to get Persona 5, among other
Oh,
Persona games, probably
yeah.
onto PC. Because Persona 5 seems like ridiculously fun and ridiculously cool. And I would love to play it, but I'm not about to go out there and spend hundreds of dollars on a PlayStation 4.
exactly. But also at the same time, it's like we may never get it, but like in like light of things, hopefully just coming out of the woodworks, we'll never see it coming.
It's... Supposedly, their plan was to show it during the conference and then have it available that day to download on Steam. So,
Oh, shit.
the date they were looking at was June 13th, and the conference is still set to be streamed on that date, so here's hoping. There hasn't been anything besides, I think they might have data mined some stuff from the Steam store of it, and I think that's how they initially found the leak. But Persona just has a very cool art style that I haven't seen many games replicate, and it just... the music. It's on par with Cowboy Bebop for me.
And
It's
that's saying a lot.
and each
Yeah.
game has music that's representative of the like theme that it's trying to give off, which is so cash.
So, given how you two have played Persona 4, or are knowledgeable on the topic, give me a rundown as someone who's never played it before. Like, what am I getting into when I pick up Persona 4?
Kind of
Oh,
like
boy.
a life's a handful of
Yeah.
just juggling things, because like the rest of the Persona games, you still have to live a normal life, and if you don't get things done, there will be repercussions.
So,
But there are also things you want to do.
the biggest difference about Persona compared to other JRPGs that I've noticed is the way that they tie in having these, like, day-to-day interactions with characters that is just, like Brennan was saying, more of, like, a life type of thing. You build up what's called confidants with specific characters that, as they strengthen, like, those confidants are each tied to different... I guess the best way to explain it would be similar to... a confidant is like a type in Pokemon, where it's like how Pokemon there's like an ice type. There will be a character that has a confidant that would be, and just like for example, it would be like, hey, this is the ice confidant, and it will grow as you spend time with that character and like grow as like closer friends and stuff. You then have a stronger like type pretty much that you can use during the battles, which in Persona 4 their whole thing is the Midnight Channel. Is that right? Yeah.
Midnight Channel. Yeah.
Midnight Channel. I for a second I was like, Midnight Hour? No, that's the third one.
No, murders. Big murders.
But Midnight Channel is basically your character goes into a TV and it's a whole nother world. And in that world, you can summon a persona, which is basically... Yeah. Yeah, it's a stand from JoJo that you're like, yo, dude, come help me out. And he just shows up and he's like, yo, I'm gonna here kick ass and take names, you know. And he just shows up and, like, his abilities and stuff, it's a turn-based, like, combat similar to Pokemon. But there's deeper stuff where it's more story and, like, getting to know these characters and have, like, attachment with them and, like, see what they're, like, you know, their faults are and, like, how you help them, like, grow. And
so it's Cyber Chase meets Dating Sim meets Pokemon.
Yeah, that's pretty close, actually. It's really cool.
You have me sold on just that, and the fact you have to manage a normal life on top of it, because I can barely do that now. So throw in some supernatural shit, and we'll see how that goes.
Oh, yeah. And the previous games, each one has like a different style of how they handle like how you're getting into combat. So like
And different color palette.
yes, which I love that whole idea, and they
Primary
show it in
colors, man.
Smash.
They do.
But the big thing with how they're doing, basically in Persona 3, which was the first one I played, the way that like you would summon your persona was they had what's called an invoker, which is a gun that your character would literally just shoot himself with, and it would summon the persona to fight for you. And in Persona 4, when you're in the Midnight Channel, the way you summon it is you literally just like crush a card that is like creating the persona to appear. And I want to say there's over like hundreds of personas in there that you can use as enemies, and all of them have their own like special style, like their own designs. And there's really cool stuff where like during school you could be like doing class and stuff and like growing your character, upping their level and like their intelligence or their guts and stuff, and that then unlocks like different personas that you can use later on.
I mean, you've sold me on it.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Now it's just the sugar coat.
The similarities with Persona and Pokemon are similar, but also they are like different in their own ways that make it feel very unique and cool. And no one's going to have like the exact same experience going through with like, oh, who are you like getting closer with your confidants and like how you're learning to play.
So it's a unique experience for everyone who goes through it.
Oh yeah.
Because it's basically a personality test
Yeah.
in a video
Oh,
game.
very much so. Just like shopping.
I mean, that sounds
Similar.
cool as hell.
I would say similar in everyone having their own unique experiences. We've been playing Pokemon a lot.
We have been in preparation for the DLC dropping soon.
Which I have no idea what could even be in that DLC.
No one does.
I have seen some stuff, and quite honestly, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure the first one is the Isle of Armor, and
That
then the
sounds-
second one is the Crown Tundra. I want to say something like
Yes.
that.
I love Crown.
But if I remember correctly from what I've seen, the Isle of Armor is like this cool kind of like dojo island where you fight like this Pokemon master in like a tower or something. It's a whole battle tower kind of situation. But on top of that, they're adding in a whole bunch of new Pokemon, some of the old ones that they couldn't import before due to size issues. But you know, they're adding those in. They're adding new forms like Galarian Slowpoke is getting evolutions where I'm pretty sure the shell on his arm turns into a poison gun.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Slowpoke with a gat?
And he fires poison out of his arm cannon.
I just imagine Slowpoke trying to reload, just like.
Oh, imagine Slowking, though.
Galarian Slowking, I think, is also going to be a thing, though I'm not
God.
entirely sure. I'm
Oh,
not
man.
entirely sure.
Oh, they better.
But on top of that, there's also Galarian forms of all three of the legendary birds. So Zapdos, Articuno,
Oh,
and
man.
Moltres, where Articuno is now a psychic type with a very cool owl design.
Yeah.
Zapdos is a fighting type where he's a roadrunner type thing. And Moltres is a dark type where he literally burns people with dark energy.
Oh,
Those sound
no.
awesome.
Moltres
And
is my favorite bird.
on top of that, there's two new Reggies being added, which is I think it's
Dragon?
It's Dragon and Electricity, but I can't
Yeah.
remember their names. I think it's Reggie Drag or something like that. And
Reggie
I don't-
Zap?
Reggie's it's not Reggie Zap, but it's something of similar regard. But there are two new Reggies being added, one dragon type, one electric type, and they both have their own special moves and everything, which is really cool.
I'm so Reggie.
And I'm pretty sure there's a new legendary being added with the DLC that you'll find. And I think it's like a fighting bear type that has 2 different forms with 2 different styles, where one is like a fist-based flurry of blows kind of a style, and one is like a slow but powerful kick kind of things. I'm pretty sure is what it is. But honestly, I'm just having fun playing through Pokemon again, trying to get ready for this DLC. And I hope at least that you guys have been having a fun time with it too.
I've been
Since
having
we've
a
been spending most
blast.
of our days sitting
Very
in the
much
Discord
so.
playing it together.
It's really fun because, like, I haven't played a Pokemon game since X and Y, and, like, they've made big changes over the past few that, like, seeing them actually executed, the idea of, like, us doing raids where, like, we're getting together and getting a group so we can all try and catch, like, you know, Gigamax Snorlax because he's just chilling with a tree on his stomach, like, doing stuff like that, and, like, us wonder trading and, like, seeing what we can get, and, like, it's been really cool and, like, different. And you're playing on, the both of you are playing on Shield, right?
Yes.
So I gotta start, you know, whoring out my Pokemon for you guys, filling out our dexes.
Yeah, them sword exclusives.
What's the best starter out of this generation?
That's kind of rough, honestly. I don't like, if I'm honest, I don't like any of the starters from this gen. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but Cinderace sucks. It's just a soccer rabbit, and I don't give a fuck about no soccer rabbit. Rillaboom is pretty cool because it's a monkey with drums.
Tycho drums, motherfucker.
And that's really
I
cool.
love it.
Sobble, I really like Sobble as a starter, but the evolutions suck.
Dude, we
How you
started
get from sad lizard baby to emo
Edgelord
lizard man to James Bond lizard. How does this happen?
It's weird because I did not see any of the, like, evolutions before we started, and I was like, yeah, Sobble looks cool, he's like a little sad lizard. And then seeing him evolve, I'm like, no, go back, please. I can't do this.
I never should have evolved him.
And, like, I'm coming from someone that initially I used to always go fire type. And then at a point I was just like, well, Squirtle was my favorite starter from the original.
You're damn right.
Bulbasaur.
And look, Bulbasaur is good. And I can respect the choice. At least it's
But
not
the squad.
Charmander.
The squad.
Charmander's overrated.
Charmander's very overrated.
Half the reason why you would choose Squirtle is so you can fuck over anyone that chose Charmander.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong entirely. That is how it'd be.
I have enjoyed Pokemon thoroughly, and seeing the differences in, like, the gyms where it's like, you had a whole different type gym that you had to fight, where I was fighting literally the fighting type gym, and seeing you go up against the ghost type leader. The designs on them are really cool. I will say, Milo is a Dorito, and I stand by that 100%.
You leave my simple, kind-hearted farmer boy alone.
Look at Milo. His chest goes from this to just out. And dude's ripped. He's got a heart of gold. But he looks like a Dorito. And I will show a picture of Milo and a Dorito now. Just to prove my point.
I'm hurt.
Oh.
I'm hurt.
He had to do it to him.
I gotta say, though, as someone who has played through Sword and then made the switch to Shield, I honestly just much prefer Shield. And I didn't think I would notice the difference at first, but, like, there's slight changes. They're very slight changes. There's barely anything you're going to notice. It's 2 gym leaders and a couple Pokemon. But I don't know, man. Just for some reason, little Ghost Boy and cool, Ice Lady versus angry fighting girl and crybaby Rockman. The difference is palpable.
Yeah.
Like, no hate on B or Gordy. No hate on them, but totally hate on them because Alistair and Melanie are better.
Nessa has been a favorite of mine so far, and oh man, I can't remember her name. Whoever the fire type one.
Kabu.
Kabu, I like his design. His character, the writing is not the best in my opinion.
No.
Kabu's dedication incarnate, but it comes off very badly through the translation.
Oh yeah. Kabu shows up and is like, "Good job. Are you leaving?"
I am proud of you. You can leave now.
Yeah. It's really cool
Okay.
seeing the different forms for, like, Galarian ones. And although some of them are not the best, I still really enjoy seeing the effort they put into making them, and, like, they do feel unique. Except for, you know, like, a few, which I don't think the base Zigzagoon Galarian is that interesting.
How you gonna do the boy like that?
I did take
They
a peek.
gave him a whole new evolution.
I took a peek at that evolution, and I do think it is really cool. I will say, Galarian Yamask is... hey, Yamask holding a rock.
Instead of a mask, he's holding a rock.
It's been cool, though, seeing all of them.
I gotta say that going into it, I was originally very skeptical about Dynamax and like Gigantamax. I didn't know how I would feel about it. I didn't know how I would like it, whatever. But I honestly, as someone who liked Mega Evolution, but found getting the stones really annoying, and like having to go
Yeah.
out of the way to like wiki how to get the stones or look at videos or tutorials and have to go, you go to this rock at midnight exactly and you'll find it sitting on the top of it.
You have to
Dude.
spin 6 times in a row, do 6 paces right, and then it will appear and you have to fight the stone itself. Like, it's stuff like that that you had to do.
Like, Mega Evolution was cool, don't get me wrong. I love the idea of changing forms of Pokemon. Dynamax and Gigantamax to me are much cooler because, hey, dude, I don't have to go that far. I could literally just go to a rock and maybe I get lucky and there's a Gigantamax, Pokemon around that I can just hang out and fight. And suddenly Snorlax is 10 times bigger and has a whole ecosystem growing on his stomach. Maybe Charizard looks 10 times cooler and has flames bursting out of him. Maybe Machamp is on crack cocaine and is now like an actual like crack fiend with literal power flowing through his veins.
Oh,
Machamp, literally, you see his veins, just different color, just like...
pulsating with energy.
Dude is swole.
see, he's not on regular crack. He's on that rainbow crack.
I will say, Machamp is skipping leg day. I'm disappointed. Dude, really, like, you look at the Gigamax Machamp, and dude's got some, like, skinny legs. Dude hasn't been doing his job for it.
He's got those slim, thick tights on, but it doesn't make up for it. It doesn't make up for the skipping of leg day.
Never skip leg day.
I really do think my favorite Gigamax, though, it was just, like, seeing you be like, yo, you want to fight this Gigamax Snorlax? And me being like, yeah, sure. And then us loading in, and me just seeing the tree growing out, because he's just chilling, just like, ugh.
He ate too many watermelons.
Belly button.
Snorlax looks like the type of Pokemon to give the best hugs.
Of course. You gotta, anytime I see a Snorlax, you just gotta hug him.
Oh, yeah.
See, I will refer to the Scooch meme that has become so popular as of late. Me, my girlfriend, and her $500 Mega Evolved Gigamax Snorlax. That's what I imagine in my head, is just like the trainer, someone, and then just like the Snorlax right there.
Reading some of the sizes for the Pokemon have surprised me too. Like seeing
Grandpa being 9'1".
Dude, him being 9'1", I'm like, this dude would tower over me. Like,
He would kill me.
he is
he'd
a
tower over me.
force. He's the type of guy that, like, he bumps into your girlfriend, like, you don't know what to do there, like, you can't do anything.
She's
like-
warped into the seafoam body.
I really have enjoyed Pokemon, and I hope to see them continue to do more, like, interesting evolutions and, like, introducing different forms, because I think the different forms have been a breath of fresh air that Pokemon really needed, and they're putting them out, and they really do feel wholly unique, where, like, you can still have a rough idea on who it is, but you know there's something different, like Ponyta and, like, Rapidash and stuff, like, they look really cool, how, like, they're changing up the types on them and stuff. And I know some of them are from past games.
And especially because nowadays, every time a Pokemon game comes out, there's people being like, oh, look at this Pokemon. Did they even put any creativity into it? Did they even try?
That's the garbage Pokemon, right?
That's a keyring Pokemon. Did they? What's next, the doormat?
That's just a
Is that one just snow cone? Come on.
That's just a vanilla ice cream cone. That's not very creative. They probably just went to the local Dairy Queen and got hungry. It's really cool to see that maybe instead of creating new things, they just need to take a step back, take some ones that maybe weren't as cool as they could have been, and spin them into something cool. Take little Zigzagoon, who's just a little raccoon boy, and make him this rock and roll king.
Yeah. And
take Ponyta, which is a fire horse of, cool ass proportions, and make it a fluffy unicorn. Why not? Why not? Live your life, Game Freak.
I love seeing all of these changes to them, and, like, the different types that they're putting onto them, like, really giving it a different style of play for what you normally would be like, oh, that's just a fire type. That doesn't do anything interesting. It's just fire. And being like, nah, that's fairy now. And it's just like, hold up, what? Like, that's not shooting fireballs?
They turned Darmanitan into a snowman?
God, like you told me earlier, now Mawile is a steel and fairy. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Considering the last Pokemon game I played before this was Omega Ruby.
It's like, it's just the little things, man. It's the fact that people have been giving them so much shit over their creativity over the past couple of games, and, like, you have no idea how hard it is to sit down and create 80 new species from scratch.
I really have enjoyed the quality of life stuff that they've put in, too.
The flying taxis.
Flying taxis, EXP share. Not having to be like, oh,
Just
I need
native.
to turn this on and stuff, or like, oh, this one Pokemon, like in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which I think are the best. Seeing them, like, have it be like, yeah, now you have that ability to be like, oh, I got a Magikarp. I'm not going to be there throwing him out and then swapping in this other one all the time.
That takes too much time. That's annoying. I want that.
Yeah.
EXP candies that you can get from the raid battles and stuff. So just really, hey, I have 64 medium XP candies for some reason. Let me just up 3 different Pokemon all the way fully.
Dude, at one point, I was sitting there and I was like, I have 16 candies. That's a lot. And then you are, like, streaming your screen, and I look and you're like, I got 60 of them. And I'm like, dude, how?
I got 66 medium. And you were like, how do you have that many? I'm like, I have no idea.
You're just force-feeding candies into your Pokemon's mouth until...
We had the talk. What flavor is rare candy? What flavor is rare candy?
Rare candy has to be mystery flavor, in my opinion.
I'm thinking like that pineapple pale kind of flavor, or just sugar water flavor.
It's the rock candies you got growing up as a kid. Yeah.
It kind of just feels like one of those, like, plain rock candies.
You know what? If you're watching this right now, you're watching this podcast right now, comment down below what flavor is rare candy from Pokemon. I want to hear it right now. I don't care how dumb you think your answer is. I want to hear it.
But then again, we only see the wrapper. We don't see what's on the inside.
That is true.
It's gotta be a blue wrapper with a white candy inside.
What if it's a see-through wrapper? Never thought about it like that, have you?
And it's a blue candy.
Big brain. Game freak.
Blueberry.
The real mysteries here. You must know.
That's all I need to know is what flavor rare candies are. And I think with that, we're going to end this episode of the Madhouse podcast. We're having a little short one today to clear the airwaves for some more important things happening. And I think we're going to keep doing this for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Or whatever, just to give more time for more important matters to be aired, because we're not that important. We just do this for fun. And, you know, we're thankful for your guys' support and everything, but there's more important things. And so I want to say thank you so much. I'm Connor Graham, one of the co-hosts. You can find me on Instagram at DaBoyGraham with periods in between. That's da.boy.graham. And you can find me on Twitch at MadBoyStreams. My co-host Ryan Byrne.
You can find me on Instagram at TheRhino100. I'm also on YouTube at The Rhino, which I actually have a video coming out very soon. I just did not feel it was the right time to be putting something out at the moment, but I think a lot of people will enjoy it. And Brendan, want to pimp your stuff?
Still just the same thing as normal. You can find me on Instagram at synthetic lens, synthetic.lens, and I'm hopefully going to be posting more stuff this weekend because I've been taking a lot of pictures as of late.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. We always appreciate your support. Have a beautiful night. This has been the Madhouse Podcast.